everybody, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Life with Migdalia. I understand that intro, that hello, was much more different than my actual intro. It's nice, soft, smooth, Bridgerton vibes. Shout out to Bridgerton fans because favorite show, watching it currently. Actually, no, I just finished rewatching Bridgerton. And I am currently watching Queen Charlotte because I have anxiety and I rewatch the same shows over and over again because that's just what I do. I have the worst time finding new TV shows, and I'm pretty sure I said it before, I can't remember because I have short-term memory loss. Not literally, but definitely feels that way. I have the hardest time finding TV shows, so I just rewatch all of the TV shows that I've already seen. And I only have Netflix, so it's even smaller, or else I would be flipping through Disney Plus and Hulu and HBO Max. So, or maybe it's just Max. I don't know. Who knows anything anymore? I started my first actual week of my job. Super excited about that. Totally wild. Not even wild, it's just like dealing with people is so strange because you meet so many different personalities, and I don't even know how to describe it other than telling a story. So I'm not gonna disclose where I work, okay? This woman came in, okay? She needed something from the company, whatever. I'm gonna keep it as vague as possible because anything can be traced back to me. She needed 2 forms of identification to do this process. She empties out her wallet that is kind of like her purse. And I swear to God, you guys, a little bug is walking out of her stuff. So I grab a tissue, I squish it, but in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, that's fucking disgusting. Squish it, throw it in the trash, okay? I have this weird thing about bugs. I can't stand them. I hate them. I don't like ticks. I don't like grasshoppers. I don't like, obviously, mosquitoes. Anything like tarantulas, spiders, whatever. I have no problem holding insects that don't bite. Like grasshopper, fine. An ant, totally fine. What's another bug that doesn't freaking bite? Butterfly. Like, those ones are fine. They're harmless. But the second you put a motherfucking creepy crawly bug in front of me, it's the end of the world. So after she leaves, I'm trying to Google what the hell this bug is. And at first I'm like, oh my God, is it a bed bug? What do I do? I'm trying to open the Kleenex a little bit, inspect the colors. I'm like, there's no way. The colors don't match. Like, whatever, this can't be a bed bug. So I continue my search and come to find out this motherfucker is a baby cockroach. And maybe I'm only saying that because of the delusion in my mind that I don't want it to be a bed bug because it freaks me out so much. But I'm pretty sure, like 85 to maybe 87% sure that it was a baby cockroach. Disgusting. Disgusting. Wild. Okay? I might have more of those encounters. Don't know. Don't look forward to them because it creeps me out. But yeah, little fun fact, little tidbit. I don't like bugs. Which, that reminds me, the first time, moving down to Kansas, bugs are a lot bigger than they are in Michigan, okay? For putting that out there. The first night my girlfriend and I got to her new house, or, we're staying with her dad. We got here, we left the truck, we got here around 10 p.m. Brought a couple things inside, like computers, purses, some stuff that we needed for showering. our suitcases, and we left the truck in the driveway. We went out again just to close up everything, and a fucking cicada was on the door frame, screamed in my ear, flew in my face, and flew away. I screamed. When I tell you that I screamed, I was like panicking because that thing was huge. It was like half of my face. I was like, there's no way. Absolutely not. But the scenery and the nature out here is beautiful. I do have to say the sunsets and sunrises are amazing. I have so many pictures of them. But yeah, I don't fuck with bugs. No, thank you. My girlfriend, whom I had been dating since March, we met in February. We started talking on Valentine's Day, which is another fun fact. I love love. I love Valentine's Day. It's one of my favorite little holidays, which if you're thinking Valentine's Day isn't a real holiday, get fucked. Get a life, please. Get over yourself. I love love. I just love heart-shaped things, the festivities, dates, romance, everything, the movies. And even when I was single, I loved it. It was my favorite thing. I love dressing in pink, hearts. I bought a dozen roses to hand out to my friends at the bar that I used to go to. It was my favorite thing. Getting my nails done, loved it. So Valentine's Day is a huge thing for mine and my girlfriend's relationship. And then, you guys might be freaked out about this, which I don't know if you guys believe in coincidences. It's fine. Before we even met, I constantly saw 333 or 33. And I kept saying, oh my God, this is significant. I keep seeing 33 or 333 everywhere. I don't know what it means. And come to find out, we meet in March, end of March. And my girlfriend and I are long distance, okay? She's from Kansas, I'm from Michigan. We decide to meet in the middle. I didn't want her coming all the way to Michigan, and I didn't want to drive all the way down to Kansas. Like, I wanted it to be romantic, to be halfway, and save us some time and energy with gas. So we meet in Decatur, Illinois. Shout out to people who are from Decatur. And we end up having our anniversary on March 30th, which written out is 0330. Isn't that fucking wild? I still can't get over it. Like, it's so to me. Like, I get so giddy. My dog is itching himself. Which, speaking of long distance relationships, my girlfriend and I started this way, and then 6 months after we met, we started living together, which is forever, given my previous relationship, where 2 weeks after we started dating, I think, or a month, 2 months after we started something, I don't fucking know, they moved in with me, and that didn't end very well. Living with a man is disgusting. I will not take it back. But we started off long distance, and it was over Facebook dating, of all places. And when I first did it, I wanted to meet someone organically, and it was totally okay how we met, because I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give dating, Facebook dating, a try, because I'd always done the apps. I'd always done Bumble, or what's the other one, Tammy, or Tinder, and it just wasn't working out. I just didn't feel it. It was just whatever. And then I started Facebook dating, and I was like, okay, fine. And then I saw her profile, and my girlfriend and I are 4 years apart, which her age kind of took me off guard. It almost made me swipe left because I was like, I do not want this age difference. But then I was reading her bio, which, let me give you a little secret if you're listening to this and you're on a dating app. Your bio is the most important thing. Deadass. You are going to impress somebody with your bio. That is how your first impression goes. Even when I was single, I was always just like, ew, if they don't have a bio, I want nothing to do with them. If they only have 1 or 2 pictures, no. Like, you have to capture the person that you're attracting, right? So put a little effort into it. And my girlfriend's bio was so it was so cute, and you could just tell that she knew who she was. She knew what she wanted, she knew who she was, she knew what she liked. She just got it. It was like, I don't even know. I'd have to find the photo at some point, but something about video games and being crazy obsessed with dinosaurs. And she had soft mask labeled in her bio, which is what really caught me, because I was like, oh, I've never heard of a soft mask before. Like, that's something. Like, she really knows who she is if she's gonna spice up the title, you know what I mean? So sent her a pickup line of what's your favorite flavor of toothpaste, which I got from someone who used to be part of my little friend group. And yeah, I went with it. I thought it was fun. I asked, what's your favorite flavor of toothpaste? They typically are supposed to respond with an actual answer, and then when they give you that answer, you go, oh, da-da-da-da-da, let me get a taste. So, for example, it's like, oh, I've never had that. Let me get a taste, question mark. And that's how I ended up sliding into my girlfriend's DMs and where we are now. But the reason that I'm bringing it up is because she is off doing something for work. And she is at training for her job, and it's 3 hours away, which we used to be 14 hours away, so getting a little closer. Seeing her off has just brought up so many memories and feelings of long distance, and to prep for her time away from me, which she can come home on weekends, but it's still difficult and it's still weird. Like, I can't fall asleep without her next to me. Even if I do, I sleep like absolute shit. Like last night, I was tossing and turning. I kept waking up during the night. Like, I needed my person next to me. Just something about it. You know, something about sleeping next to your person just makes you a little more sleepy. It makes you feel safe and calm, and your nervous system is kind of just regulated. And without sleeping next to her, it's just tough. So, speaking on the long distance relationship, her and I FaceTimed constantly. We were texting each other. It was more emotional, and it had to create that connection over a screen with the distance because we couldn't do it physically. The overall dynamic of a relationship that has dealt with long distance is so much different, and I feel has more of a solid foundation than a typical, close relationship. And I'm not saying that to all of them. Some people have trust issues when it comes to long distance relationships. Like, oh my God, they're going to cheat on me. They're going to do this. How am I supposed to trust them? I've had a friend or two deal with long distance relationships and they ended up getting cheated on. Like my previous roommate. I'm not going to go into detail because that's his business and I'm not going to share his business because I've learned that the hard way while podcasting. But people can surprise you. And from what I've learned, if that person is serious about you and serious about the relationship and actually wants to, then trust shouldn't be an issue. And if they overly communicate with you, you're in the clear, I guess. Like, you're golden. And I knew from the get-go, like, my girlfriend and I constantly had that communication of, I don't know how to do this. For me, specifically, like, I never had a long-distance relationship, and I kind of let her know. And I let her know what I wanted out of the relationship, what I was looking for, and we were looking for the same thing. So it made it easier for us to establish the trust. Not to mention, she FaceTimed me every extra chance that she got, and it was so cute. Like, she would go out to the bar, and I would get a FaceTime from her, like, just while she's standing in line to go to the bathroom, or while she's getting a drink, or, you know, the constant videos of us Snapchatting each other out with our friends and dancing and whatever else. Like, that's how it happened our very first week of talking. We were constantly together, but not together at the same time, if that makes sense. Like, the distance just had no effect, really, until we were in love. Like, she was the one who fell in love with me first. I know that. I fell in love with her shortly after. Like, I was in love. I was in deep. And so was she. But don't ever let distance, like, keep you away from that, because here's the thing. There are 7 billion people on this planet, give or take a couple billion. Yes, I believe in the red string theory, but also, how can the person that you're meant to be with specifically be your next door neighbor or in the same town or in the same state? Like, you have to give it a shot. You never know what's going to happen. You never know. And the red string theory, if you don't know what it is like an imaginary red string tying you to your person. For example, what is the story I'm thinking of? This girl, her mom died when she was younger, and she was like, to her fiance or partner, was like, I really wish you could have met my mom. And then they find a photo, and turns out her spouse was in her mom's kindergarten class. Like, her mom was teaching her spouse. Like, that's just the craziest thing. You never know what's going to happen. And yeah, the sex is, like, difficult to maintain, but there's always masturbation. Like, who cares? But dealing with the physical aspect of people and, you know, wanting to establish that connection with the person that you're in love with, don't get me wrong, it's difficult. It takes a lot of self-control. And I've learned as I've gotten older that I'm not as lustful as I once was. Like, I don't want just sex. Like, I don't want a quick fuck. And that was one of the things that I had thought about to myself over and over again. And I still am like that in my head. Like, I want emotional connection when it comes to intimacy and intercourse and having, you know, being with my girlfriend. The dynamic emotionally is different. Romantically, you have to get creative in trying to make a long distance relationship thrive. A date idea is getting your favorite takeout and them getting their favorite takeout, and you guys just sitting down on FaceTime having dinner together. Or playing games, or there's apps where it can help you ask questions. So you answer the question, and then they can't see your answer until they answer. And it's those emotional questions. Now, if you're worried about, okay, well, what if I meet this person and I'm not sexually attracted to them? Then that's okay. You gave it a shot. But I think it's so much better because you've waited for it so long. And that's how it was for me. I never had an emotional connection when it came to sex until my girlfriend. Like, she is the one who changed my mind about hookup culture. Like, I'm still about my past, which is fine because my past is my past. I had to learn from it. We all do. But she is the one who definitely changed my mind about hookup culture. Like, I am so against it. Not to the point where I'm like trying to change everyone's mind, but once you have that emotional connection where the world just falls away while you're having sex and connected to your person and they are just making you feel the best ever, there's no other feeling like it. I'm telling you, my world melted away. We looked into each other's eyes and I felt like we were the only two people. Even though we were in a hotel room. Like, that was it. If you're in a long distance relationship, get creative with things to do. Write each other letters. FaceTime dates, voice memos, playlists, like, my girlfriend and I did this send a friend where you send like a stuffed animal that they would like with a message missing you. Another would be sending flowers. Like, I would send her flowers to her house. Just be spontaneous. You know, you can do it on Amazon. You can send people gifts spontaneously. Send her coffee. It's so easy, you guys. Like, it is so easy to get creative. And being as this is, like, lesbian relationship, which I've had crushes and been infatuated with several women, but my first actual connection relationship, just so unique. It has its times where it's difficult, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I want to choke myself out, but I think it's more so about miscommunication when that happens. But there's a unique level of comfort of loving another woman who just gets it, even from far away. Like, you can just say, like, oh my god, I'm having cramps, I feel like shit. You can rant about your feelings. It's just feels so much deeper because you actually have to put in so much effort to communicate and talk about your feelings, because body language isn't a thing. You actually have to use your words and practice communication. There's an importance of, like, the emotional check-ins of, how are you doing? Is there anything you need from me today? No, but how are you actually feeling? Not to mention balancing the independent connection, learning to grow together while being apart. Like, there were times where it was so nice that I trust her completely. where even miles apart, 900 miles apart, mind you, she could go out with her friends. I could go out with my friends. I know she's going to text me when she can, and I can still hang out with my friends without having to worry about anything else. You have your independence while also being with someone. And it really teaches you that. Like, you can have your alone time. You can be on FaceTime and say a bunch of things or not say anything at all. It's just the comfort of knowing that they're there. And that is a lot of the time how we would have our conversations. And when we first started, like, she always wants to hash out a conversation from the get-go. I like to sit and think about it. But I have been getting better with wanting to resolve it more quickly. And sometimes I have those habits, I guess, that creep back in, but it takes a while. And then if you're like, oh, but I'm really insecure about, or jealous, a lot of that can be knocked out by simple communication of, hey, I'm just feeling a little insecure today. Hey, I'm feeling a little jealous. Just say that. And if they're not understanding, then that is a them problem. It is not a you problem. Okay? If you communicating your feelings is going to cause issues or just ruin something, then that's not it. That's not it. That is not a green flag. And you have to learn how to go about it in a certain way. Like, sometimes my girlfriend says I go about things ignorantly in a way where I state my feelings as if they're a fact rather than a feeling. So, like, saying she does something on purpose when it's just me feeling like she did it. I have to say that I feel like blah, blah, blah when you say blah, blah, blah. Try to make them not feel like it's their fault, because sometimes it's just most of the time it is miscommunication. It is, you did this to make me feel like this, rather than you said this and it made me feel like this. Do not put the blame on said person, or like, you said blah, blah, blah. It's your fault I feel this way. Like, that's not what we're talking about. Another thing that long distance can do is allow you to miss the person to the point where, like, seeing them makes it a different level of intimacy and just euphoric in a way. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here with my person. This is amazing. Like, every time you see them, it feels like a romance movie. And then when you leave, it feels like your soul is being ripped from your body, literally being peeled away, skin cell by skin cell. That shit is not fun. That was the worst part of a long distance relationship. But it's a give and a take. You can't have yin without the yang. To love someone so deeply that every time you have to say, see you later, feels like you're cutting off a limb is such a bittersweet, poetic feeling. Like, it's always see you later, and never a goodbye. And I would be a mess for a day or two after saying goodbye or saying see you later. Like, everyone knew as soon as I got back home, do not talk to me. I'm in a shit ass mood because I miss my girlfriend and we are 900 miles apart again. When I used to work with my grandma, as soon as I walked through that door at work, as soon as that next day hit where I was back to not sleeping next to her, my grandma would be like, "How was your trip?" And I would have to look at her and shake my head because I couldn't even talk about it without crying. Or what I would even try. She'd be like, "How was your trip?" I was like, "Good. And, we did A, B, C, and D." And then she'd be like, "Well, what's wrong?" And I would look at her and I would just immediately cry and be like, "I just miss my girlfriend." Like, that's it. You have to give yourself time to, adjust again, because you go from such a high, dropping back down to a low of being so far away from your partner. And I'm not trying to discourage anyone to not do long distance. Like, my God, is it beautiful and just so bittersweet feeling that drives you crazy. But there's such a misunderstanding to long distance relationships, and I think more so in lesbian couples. Like, one of my first friends who was part of the lesbian community, like, if she listens to this, Alana, shout out. She and I actually talked to the person that both made us realize that we were, smitten for women. And having that conversation with her really enlightened me. And she was like, long distance relationships are going to be your best friend. Like, they are going to be the best thing ever. And sure as shit, she was right. Watching her thrive in her relationship with her girlfriend is so adorable and just amazing, because I know the person that we dealt with was such a shitty person, and now she's thriving. Like, it's so amazing. Like, I can't use any other word to describe it. But so many people look at lesbian long-distance relationships or long-distance relationships in general and be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe, like, I would never do that. I would never do that. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do a long-distance relationship. Like, you are so much braver than I am. You must, like, trust them a lot." Yeah, that's the fucking point. You have to. Because if you don't trust the person that you're with, you're going to spiral down a deep hole, and it's going to make you insane. That is all. You have to trust them. It is a choice. A lot of the spaces that I have are on TikTok about, finding your community, supporting other couples, like, breaking the stereotypes that it's phase-based or can't handle distance. Like, anyone can handle distance. I promise you. And maybe you'll like it even more than other relationships that you've been in. Yeah, they're difficult. They take work. But it's not until long-distance relationships happen where you really find the meaning of a relationship, of a emotionally connected relationship. you will learn a different type of strength and resilience, and it can really mold the foundation of your relationship. And yeah, maybe it's not for everyone, okay? I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying if it ever falls in your lap and you're holding yourself back thinking, I can't do this, just give it a shot. That's all I'm saying, is just give it a try. You don't have to like it. Just see if it's something that you would entertain or consider. There is such a euphoric feeling and excitement of like reuniting with your person. And you have to know your why of what keeps you both grounded through the distance. Mine, ours, was just talking. Checking in. Like I would cry on the phone. Like I miss you. We would count the days. We always had a plan. We always had a plan on when we were going to see each other. That is probably what got me through the most, is having a set date and counting down the moments that we were back together. It is very different, and I would not change an absolute thing. This time right now has just brought up so many memories of the fact of like, I'm sitting here in our bedroom, and once upon a time, she was the one who was sitting in this bedroom, and I was the one who was distance away. Like, I am sitting in the room where we FaceTimed constantly. Like, I know these walls like the back of my hand because I stared at them while she was getting ready to go out and hang out with friends, or while she was playing video games, or just being her. And we would have our conversations in this room over FaceTime. And now she is the one who's a couple 100 miles away. But she's doing something for her career. She is bettering herself. And that is something that I am grateful for. And I am so proud of her for doing such a thing. I can count down the minutes and the hours and whatever until I see her over the weekend. But that see you later is always going to have a small punch in the chest. It always will, and it always makes me sad. And honestly, you never know when the last time you're going to see somebody is. Because shit does happen, unfortunately, and life is a fucking bitch. Let's be so for real. Life has a way of just wanting to punch you in the tit. Flick you in the nipple. This shit is not for the weak, and bless you, Milo. I'm not saying that everyone can handle a long distance relationship, but if you are in a lesbian... Oh, okay. If you're in a lesbian relationship, just give it a try. Could be the best thing that ever happened. I know multiple people who have done long distance, and they've been together for a decade, over a decade. Like this one woman I met, she is from here, and her other half is from northern Michigan. And they have been that way for years. Like in the next 9 years, I think she's planning on moving up there because she'll be done, or her kids will be done in school. Not to mention, you also have to have realistic expectations for communication. Like, you guys aren't going to talk 24/7. But just communicating that and really dealing with missing each other and learning how to communicate better. Talk about the quiet moments, missing each other during the day. Having those real deep conversations of how you can express love and how you do that. It can really change the way you do things. Like, you get creative with expressing your love and reassuring someone through words, whatever, just being there with them. You have to plan your visits strategically, mixing adventure with, comfort. Managing the time zones is definitely a bitch. And just be as affectionate as you possibly can, because you can't do it physically. Give them or send them a t-shirt that smells like you, and vice versa. It is a different kind of loneliness of yearning for someone who is hundreds of miles away. But it can teach us patience and unconditional love. You learn about more divine timing, and it's just a crazy concept. Having to love someone in a different way with distance between you changes your perspective on a lot. And sometimes you think, oh, this isn't fair, like, I hate it. But in reality, you are building such a solid foundation when it comes to your relationship that not many things are gonna shake you. Not many obstacles are gonna get in your way that you guys can't overcome, because you're already involved in the biggest one: distance. Not having them there physically, not being able to kiss them or hold their hand or be like, honey, I'm home, and seeing them, or find those random freckles on their faces or like their back, or seeing how their eyes change colors during the different emotions or throughout the day, or just being able to hold them when they're upset. It's extremely difficult. Just give it a shot. That's all I'm saying. But you'll figure it out and you'll learn. But that concludes this episode, and I will see you guys soon. And I love you. Take care of yourself.